Hi, my name's John Cordy and today we're running the replacement bus service between Plymouth and Exeter. Obviously. You're about to watch me playing Wayne Shorter's Infant Eyes, which is the tune that I've been working on this week, and then after that I want to do some harmonic analysis and show you how I think about this tune and how I got to wherever I got with it. So hopefully you vaguely enjoyed what I just played. It's a tune I've been working on this week by Wayne Shorter, and it's called Infant Eyes. And I think someone suggested it to me on a live stream, and I decided that would be a good thing to play because I like the sound of it. That's essentially how I pick the jazz tunes that I want to play and that I bother to learn. The overarching feature is that it has to be something that I want to play. So that's why you don't necessarily see me working on super modern stuff or super fast bebop-y stuff. I only really work on stuff that I like the sound of. What I wanted to do was show you on the screen what the chords are from a sheet, but also show you the bare minimum of what I think you should figure out for each song that you bother to learn or whatever. For me, what most music is about the concept of home, and it's about moving away from home and coming back to home, tension and release, these kind of ideas. They only really work if you have a firm grasp of what home means. I've had this conversation with a few people this week. Kevin, for instance, specifically asked me what I mean when I refer to home. So for me, home means the scale and context that you can place one chord within. This is what modes to me is about. This is what all of this stuff all really is connected to a solid concept of home. So, you know, if you say G Dorian, that doesn't really tell you anything about G or anything about that particular scale or anything really, but it is telling you what that scale's relationship is to another home, if you see what I mean. So G Dorian, for instance, tells me that this scale belongs to F major. That's just the way that I think about modes. There are probably other approaches that are just as valid. That's the way I think about it. So all of my playing, I'm trying to think, where is home for all of this? So let's take a look at Wayne Shorter's Infant Eyes, and let's see what we think. And I'm going to take you through with the stuff on the screen and talk you through my thinking for all of it. So my main goal when I'm learning a tune is first to learn the melody, then to learn the chords underlying or the harmony underlying. So it may not be specific voicings, but it's the flavour of each chord that I'm trying to get, and then put those two things together. And then after that I will work on trying to solo through those harmonic changes. So here's Infant Eyes. Our first chord is G minor. So that's the first line. So this won't always be the case, but to me, G minor or B flat major, the relative major of G minor, feels like the home for this tune. So we're going to take B flat major as the home. So G minor is the 6 of B flat major. So F minor is a non-diatonic chord. This comes from outside of B flat major scale. When you see this sort of thing, it makes sense to also look forward to what the next chord will be to see if you can get some idea of where that might come from. Now it happens that the next chord is E flat major 7. So F minor does actually fit diatonically within E flat major. So that's how I would analyse that. So first chord we have is the 6 of B flat major. Then we have the 2 of E flat major. And then we're on E flat major. So you can think of that as either the 1 or as the 4 of B flat major. Then we get a weird chord. So this is what I worked out with my ear, is this chord. On the sheet we've got an A7 flat 9. Either way, this is like a strange chord, so for that I would consider that as like a passing chord or like a dissonant chord. And so in that particular instance I'd be thinking about strategies like an arpeggio that would outline that chord or something like that. But I guess if it is a flat 9, generally that means it's going to be the 5 of a minor scale. So we could think of that as 5 of D minor. And then we come to G flat major 7. Which to me isn't a diatonic chord, so I want to find a home for it. So to me that sounds like chord 4. Of D flat major. So then we got a C minor, but I think it's closer to like an F sus, I think. Which is again diatonic to B flat major, so we're back in B flat major for that. Then E flat minor, which is non-diatonic to B flat major. So I would say that that was coming. Is the 2 of D flat major. So the E flat minor then moves on to a B flat sus, I think, which kind of implies that we're in E flat major for that, because B flat sus would be the 5 of E flat major. The E flat minor is the 2 of D flat major. Then we get another weird chord, which I worked out as being like an kind of like E over B flat, so it's like a pretty altered chord. So you could play that sort of thing, but we're going to be resolving to chord 4 of B flat, which is the E flat major. So here, I'd say we're moving between like an E flat major, which is the 4 of B flat, so still at home, to the E major, the E major 7. So we kind of got like a semitone shift going on. So I'd say the homes there are B flat major and then B major. And then we do resolve to B major, so that's why I think of the B major as a potential home. Then we move on to this kind of sus thing again. And then we're on to this A flat minor, which I would think of as the 2 of F sharp major. And then we sort of resolve to E flat minor, which, so I'd say we're still in the home of F sharp major there. Then this D7 flat 9 is like the 5 of G minor, which we've got coming up. And then we're doing the same thing again. So that's just the way that I would think about some of that stuff. So for every chord that you see in a standard or any song, I'd be trying to identify where is home for that. The way that I would do this is by starting with really simple stuff. So you might pick just pop songs, Ed Sheeran stuff, or songs from church is what I grew up doing this, but you want to get a really strong understanding of the fundamentals of what sounds like a 1, what sounds like a 2, what sounds like a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6 and 7, so that you've got the context to identify when you see these chords coming up or hear them coming up. So it's about identifying where things are moving to and from, and you might only have one chord in a certain key, but that's kind of the key to this modal stuff, is that you've got to identify a sound and then assign it a home, essentially. So so that's what I do with every song, even though I don't have them written down or anything. That's the process that I'm doing as I go through these tunes and learn them. I think that's kind of the bare minimum that you need to be able to do to comfortably improvise through a tune, is kind of have a firm grasp of where home is for each kind of section of the tune. So that's what I mean when I say about knowing where home is. It's about assigning each kind of chord a bass where it comes from, and the harmonic context for each chord within a tune. So hopefully that's vaguely helpful. That's how I think about this. Thanks for stopping by. If this was useful in any way, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be cool. If you want me to do more of this kind of stuff, then let me know. I'm not sure I'm the best at kind of explaining it, but this is how I'm thinking about this stuff as I'm playing it. Also, for this sort of stuff, you might want to check out Jen Larson's channel, because he does a really good job of explaining and breaking down some of this stuff. But this is, I guess you might call it harmonic analysis or modal analysis of a tune. Probably not modal, because I'm not really thinking about it too modally, but it's really about finding where home is for me for every kind of chord, and the harmonic context for all parts of the song, so that when I'm soloing or playing the tune, I'm aware of what the notes are that are going to help to make it feel like I'm playing within the key of the song, and not just playing random notes, but playing melodies that are actually going to complement the chords.